Hello there and welcome to another edition of Robot Wars Unveiled. This time we're going to be returning to Series 1 with the second ever episode, Heat V. I hope you enjoy. This episode contains the first ever front hinged flipper. This episode also contains the first time a house robot is flipped over, with Matilda being the first ever house robot flipped over and Recyclops being the first opponent to flip her over. The arena semi-final between Recyclops and Scrapper set the original record for the shortest UK series battle at 15 seconds. It is currently ranked equal 10th with Carbide vs Polo in the head-to-head of the Series 8 Grand Final. The heat final between Mortis and Recyclops is one of the most notable battles of Series 1, as it marked the first ever judges' decision in a televised UK series. Mortis lost the decision, to which its team strongly opposed and would create a vengeance battle later on in the Grudge Match special. This heat featured 4 teams who would go on to reach the semi-finals of Series 2. While introducing the judges ahead of the arena semi-final stage, Jeremy Clarkson mentions Eric Dickinson's success in the 1996 US competition, namely WYSIWYG's victory over Steel at Work in the England vs France Grudge Match. This preceded WYSIWYG's appearance in the very next heat, along with the battle's official release as part of the American Robot Wars 1996 and American Robot Wars Final 1996 VHS tapes. Uglybot is one of 20 robots never to fight in robot combat, having only ever reached the gauntlet or trial stages. Reaching only 1.65 meters, Uglybot achieved the shortest distance out of any Series 1 competitor in the gauntlet. Uglybot and its team are the only robot from the heat to never return. Scrapper had 5 team members, the largest amount of credited teams in one team at one time. A deleted scene from this episode had the house robots attacking Scrapper after its defeat. At the auditions, Recyclops attended in a complete fashion, however its batteries fused out and it could not perform. Despite this, it still qualified. As many of you may already know, prior to Robot Wars, Rex Garrett appeared in a show called The Secret Life of Machines in 1988, but is perhaps best known for the creation of Rum in the show Rum. George Francis helped build Recyclops, and conversely Rex Garrett helped build Robot Bruce, who appears in the next heat. Detonator appeared on Blue Peter sometime after filming the first Wars. The night before filming Series 1 began, Detonator exploded during testing, which resulted in the team having to make frantic repairs before it was due to appear. Mortis was the first ever competitor in Robot Wars to feature a removable link, back in Series 1. This safety feature would go on to become mandatory to all competing robots in later series of the show. Mortis was originally designed to feature 2 horizontally opposed ice axes as weapons, but these were replaced with a familiar Tanto axe due to weight restrictions. Mortis's loss to Recyclops was its only Robot Wars loss to not involve a pitting or knockout. Leibot attempted to qualify for Series 2 alongside its successor Leviathan, however the robot failed to qualify due to the team being forced to enter only one robot. Leibot is one of only 2 robots in history to add a specific feature to neutralize smoke in the arena. Leibot's battle with Mortis is the origin of the term Pepper Pot. It was Leibot versus Mortis that inspired Team Razor to create Razor. In a deleted scene only included in Robot Wars The First Great War, after revealing to the Leibot team that they were drawn against Mortis, Philippa Forrester took the team over to talk to the Mortis team, who were too busy getting Mortis repaired to talk to them. And that is it for today. Series 1 Heat V, in my opinion, is the best episode of Series 1. It is much better than Series 1 Heat A, I should say, mainly because there's a lot more entertaining robots here. Recyclops, Mortis, very great robots, absolutely amazing robots. The battles are really good as well. Mortis versus Recyclops is probably one of the best battles of Series 1. The Heat final decision, somewhat controversial, but at the same time, you know, it led to an interesting development in Series 2. I guess in a way this is the heat that made Mortis the bad guy, so to speak, in the classic era, or the very, very classic era, I should say. Because, you know, let's be honest now, a lot of the later episodes would portray Mortis' team as, you know, very egotistical, very selfish, and because of all that jazz, when really they weren't like that. But you know, Mortis itself is a very sexy looking robot in this. I love the way they've designed the tracks as well. You know, you've got this sort of clip on both ends so that it looks like the tracks are visible on top but visible at the bottom, but they're not visible on the sides. I don't know why that looks so cool, but it just does. It's got a very amazing axe, very amazing weapon design. It's beautiful. Recyclops is a very funky design as well. Rex Garrett's machine. Obviously everyone knows Rex Garrett machines as Cassius, because let's be honest, our Cassius is far more famous than Recyclops, but Recyclops is such a wonderful looking robot, very unique design, and the fact that the flipper is the tongue that just shoots out and then flips, such a unique and gimmicky robot, which I feel like is a miss in a lot of modern robot combat. Like, the problem which I have with a lot of modern robot combat, whether it's Robot Wars, BattleBots, Extreme Robots, etc., is that they don't have that flair of, you know, creativity. Everything is all very blocky and the same as everything, you know. A lot of people bitch and moan about how, like, every robot in BattleBots is basically the same spinner, just painted a different color. And honestly, I kind of agree, because, you know, you look at these old Robot Wars episodes, you look at even the 90s events, you know, there was all this creativity and uniqueness to every single robot. You know, you can't make a robot like Snake anymore, for example, or you can't make a robot like Cyclops anymore. You know, the creativity and passion, I feel, is gone from a lot of modern machines, which is really a shame. And I will say this as well, I really love the trial in this particular episode. Like, I really don't like trials or Gauntlet at all when it comes to the Series 1 and Series 2, but there are a few which are really good, and ones which I kind of enjoy. Like, I quite enjoyed the Sumo, but again, I think that's mainly because Series 4 got it right by making it just a side event that you can just do if you want to. You know, it's not important whatsoever. But this one is a lot better in the sense that it's called British Bulldog, and it's just basically getting from one end to the other as there's a bunch of house robots just going to swarm you. And I think that's such a great idea, and obviously it created brilliance with you know, Cyclops just flipping Shunt over, all the robots like struggling to try and find a path, and, you know, Scrapper reverses back. Detonator is dead from the start, and you can actually see David Crosby just, you know, getting really angry, although the reason why he got really angry was because he just remembered, so now he forgot, which is quite funny and amusing to think about. Obviously, Detonator is not as famous as, obviously, Napalm, its successor, but, you know, we do get to see Detonator later on in a spectacular display in the War of Independence, but we have to wait for that. But yeah, overall, Series 1 Heat B, I think, is just a really good heat. It's got great range of robots. You know, a lot of creativity. You know, the trial is entertaining as well. Even some of the Gauntlet runs aren't that bad either. I think, you know, this one just manages to hit the right marks. The battles as well is not too bad. You know, Laybot versus Mortis, and of course the Heat final, fantastic. So yeah, Series 1 Heat B, the best of Series 1 in my opinion. So let's have a look at what will be randomly selected next. Hopefully it's something we haven't seen before. So we're going to be back with Extreme 2, and luckily this is a much better episode. The challenge belt is a fantastic episode. I actually kind of prefer this over the Extreme 1 challenge belt, even though I do prefer Extreme 1 over Extreme 2 overall. But this particular episode, there's just nothing but pure action. Every fight is fantastic. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to that one. And I'll see you next time.